When lap 200 rolled around, Darrell Waltrip was in the lead, and it was a commanding lead. He had been there for 32 laps, and he was running strong. It looked like only a fate of bad luck could stop Waltrip from winning number 8. And as it turned out, that is exactly what happened. Waltrip stayed in the lead until lap 298 when he lost control going into turn 2. He tapped the wall and spun out. And that was what the Silver Fox from Spartanburg, South Carolina had been waiting on. In typical Pearson fashion, the old Fox waited for the leaders to burn themselves out or wreck, and all of it happened here today at Darlington. A total of 9 caution flags throughout the hot afternoon here at Darlington put a lot of drivers out of action and slowed down the pace of the race. Here we see turns 3 and 4 having their share of incidents near the first half of the race. Later in the day, the action shifted to turns 1 and 2, where Waltrip's first spin out cost him the lead, and his second spin out put him 2 laps down. Now Waltrip must really work hard to make up those laps, but Pearson, driving in the place of the injured Dale Earnhardt, looks like he's home free. The hot afternoon also took its toll on the drivers. Some of the drivers could not make the entire 500 miles alone. Needed relief from other drivers whose cars had been eliminated earlier in the day. One such driver was Richard Petty, who is shown here getting oxygen. Petty, a veteran driver on the NASCAR circuit, was relieved first by Donnie Allison, whose car had dropped out earlier, and then by Neil Bonnet, who had previously placed the Purelator Mercury behind the pit wall. Meanwhile, the race had passed 330 laps, only 37 laps to go, and David Pearson was sitting on a 2-lap lead, and he desperately wants to win for his new team, the Osterlund Racing Team, who picked him up when he and the Woods brothers split after the Rebel 500 at Darlington back in April. Some of the veterans were out of the hunt on this hot afternoon. Richard Petty had his problems. Cale Yarborough blew another engine, while Bobby and Donnie Allison had misfortune beset them during the afternoon. And drivers you seldom hear about were making their moves late in the day. Rookie Bill Elliott, who had run strong all day long, was in the second position. And another rookie, Terry Labonte, was holding on to that third spot. Veteran Buddy Baker, who was black flagged earlier for jumping the caution car, was now running fourth. And Benny Parsons of Ellerby, North Carolina, had battled his way to the 5th spot. 1 lap to go, and the white flag comes out for veteran race driver David Pearson of Spartanburg, South Carolina. If he can hold on to this final lap, he will win the 30th annual running of the Southern 500. Pearson now making his way down the backstretch, handling nicely as he makes his way into turns 3 and 4. The checkered flag goes out, and David Pearson becomes the 1979 winner of the prestigious Southern 500 here at Darlington. This makes his 3rd Southern 500 win, making a total of 9 wins here at Darlington. Here we see a happy David Pearson picking up the Osterlund crew and heading to the winner's circle.
Every one of them was tough, but they're all tough. I knew that Darrell was going to be hard to beat, and but the car was a little bit loose to start with. We kept changing it around, so the last stop, we put some weight in the car, so we ran good from then on.
What kind of feeling did you have when you realized that Waltrip had spun over the second turn?
Well, I saw him when he done that, and so I knew that I got back in the same lap, and when I come back around, he was in the pit, so I got a lap ahead of him.
What do you figure the temperature in your car was today, David?
It must have been 150 degrees.
Then came the presentation of the trophy to Pearson, and then the kiss from Miss Southern 500, Renee Roderick of Florence. And Renee offered these comments on the first race that she ever attended.
I loved it. I've never seen a race that's been more exciting.
How'd you like being in front of 100,000 people today?
It's fantastic. I've never seen a crowd this large and this enthusiastic.
What was the most exciting part of your day?
Getting to kiss David Pearson in the winning circle.
How about before the race?
Getting to kiss David Pearson before he left.
Oh.